Hello, welcome everyone. Let me see. Are you here? Tell me hello. This is a webinar, a free webinar, and I'm also broadcasting this on my YouTube channel. So we have people who are coming into the studio who are actually a part, hello Lisa, who are a part of the webinar, who registered. So I want to encourage anybody, whether you're watching right now or you're in replay, you can still register for the webinar and join the backstage, get the backstage pass, and there will also be some free gifts included there. So right up front, I want to encourage you to scroll down to the description. You'll see a way to be able to register for this webinar. And like I said, even if you're watching in replay, you'll be able to get the free gifts. So go ahead and register. And having said that, let's talk about what this is going to be about. We're going to be discussing the Akashic Records, the cosmic database that aligns you with your soul and your highest potential. So before we dive into that, I'm going to just go ahead and play my intro to give people a chance to join us. So stay tuned. Hello and welcome to the Charmed Life podcast. This podcast is all about magic, metaphysics, mysticism, and the unconditional love of the universe. And I am your host. My name is Trisha Carr. All right, welcome. So yes, this is also going to be on the Charmed Life podcast. So some of you may be listening to it that way. And I just hope that we're all just going to have a great time, no matter how it is, that we are time traveling to be here together. Yeah, I actually do think that we are getting ourselves reacquainted with, reminding ourselves of time travel by doing things like live broadcasts that can be listened in replay, and then we're all interacting and it comes together. So we're already kind of moving in that cosmic energy. Let's talk about the Akashic Records then. And I have a little bit of a slideshow for you, not too much going on here, but we're going to talk about accessing your Akashic Records. So what are the Akashic Records? Well, they are a field of energy, of your quantum energy, of really it's a database of everything that shall be, has been, and possibly could be. Now, the reason that the Akashic Records stand out as a modality for your development and for manifestation and everything that you would be able to, prefer to have happening in your life, especially if of course, if you're a spiritual seeker, is that they stand out as this comprehensive field of infinite possibilities encompassing all of the possible timelines. And this sometimes blows people's minds, like time travel and timelines, because we are really conditioned to think about things in a linear sense and also as definitive, so that there is only one reality. But there are infinite realities. And the truth of what you are experiencing is something that is only in a present moment. But you are actually, in order to create that truth, you're accessing all of the potential realities, because you cannot imagine a non-reality. And so that's what the Akashic Records are. They are the realities that are making up your timeline that feels as though it is truth for you in this moment. So you can also actually alter, by accessing the Akashic Records, you can alter your past. You can alter your present. You can alter your future. And that's where sometimes we get a little thrown off. We're like, how can we alter our past? It happened. But how we are connecting with it has infinite possibilities as well, whether we're talking about this life. And as a lot of people understand the Akashic Records to be a database of your past lives in the model of reincarnation, you are also tapping into infinite possibilities of past lives that would inform your current timeline, your current reality. So the Akashic Records provide a comprehensive field of infinite possibilities encompassing timelines, your soul purpose, and multidimensional healing. That is one of the main benefits of the Akashic Records. Now, I'll say that a lot of times people are tapping into the Akashic Records and they don't realize it. And I'll tell you how you might know that you've tapped into the Akashic Records, even if you didn't identify it as such at the time. And that is when you activate a profound shift in your reality, be that healing, manifestation, or just simple overall satisfaction. A way that you're feeling more like who you truly are, you're feeling known by the universe, and your outside reality eventually will reflect that. It is really the miracle frequency. So sometimes a certain modality may actually be tapping into the Akashic Records. Many modalities, the spiritual modalities, actually do tap into the Akashic Records. But how we know, or let's say tap into, there's maybe a difference between viewing them and actually bringing them into alignment, bringing that data stream into the highest possible potential for you, in alignment with your soul, alignment from the top of the universe all the way through to your physical life at this time. So this is one of the powerful reasons that the Akashic Records are so valuable to us. Now, let me tell you, I guess I'll tell you a little bit about myself. So that's why, why the Akashic Records, but I'll get back to that in a second. So if we haven't met before, my name's Trisha Carr, as you probably see on whatever way you're receiving this. I'm a spiritual teacher. I am also a medium, a channel, animal communicator. Animal communication was my first spiritual skill that I developed. And I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist. And that last piece is notable because in the trainings that I give, I do a lot of activation through both the channeling and the hypnosis. Now, hypnosis, people sometimes don't understand that hypnosis is a broad category that encompasses things like meditation. And we know these subconscious and also superconscious connections to be the way that we are actually making major shifts in our mind, body, and spirit. And so the fact that I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist is just a qualification that I like to make sure that I highlight because it's really important in all of the work that I do. In addition to teaching, channeling, and connecting with our guides and guardians in the universe. So that's who I am, and I've been practicing all of the spiritual arts and had this business for over 10 years now, training I don't know, hundreds at least of people to open their intuitive abilities and connect with a satisfying life, and also to overcome trauma and to heal lives. So what we're going to be talking about today is what the Akashic Records are, how they can support spiritual and personal and professional breakthroughs. We're also going to talk about the new timeline that we are on in this earth. Yeah, I think we all can sense that, or at least we're hoping for it, right? And hopefully it's a new that's better. We really are in a new timeline. And that is why this Akashic Record course that I've never actually directly done an Akashic Record course before, it's starting next week, just so you know. That's why this has dropped into my awareness as a specific piece among all of the other things that I teach that wants to be acknowledged, in the sense of updating ourselves to the new Earth's timeline, and also updating our understanding of the Akashic Records. The Akashic Records have often been thought of as a library, basically like of books that are detailing past lives. Sometimes people just think they're past lives, but it is also the parallel present timelines and the potential future timelines. And rather than it being like a library of books, the reason I think we thought of that before was because that's how we considered, that's the way that we thought of taking in information. We've gotten a lot closer to it in our information age, and also in where we are on the precipice of, we're already 1 foot in, and we're going to be moving headlong into the next age, which is what I sometimes call the consciousness age. So think about the shift of going from a library of books in order for you to, learn. If any of you are my age, that's like before 1997, there was no internet. If you wanted to learn about something, you went to the library and tried to find an encyclopedia or some other, book that might be able to help you. To the information age, where we can look up absolutely anything on Google, to now we can see some of the ways that we're tapping into an age where it's expanded even more with AI and virtual reality and so many other holographic formations of our reality coming into our life as utility. So the Akashic Records, we're getting closer and closer to how our energetic reality is. And so our understanding of the Akashic Records is in alignment with that. Rather than a library of books, these are streams of data that we can just download or plug into and recalibrate ourselves entirely. And so that's what we're going to talk about in addition to 3 major shifts that we'll explore. 3 major shifts that help you by tapping into the Akashic Records. I'm going to look and see who's here. Hi, Claire. I read a few chapters of Linda Howe's book and was guided through my records by Merlin. Oh, I love it. Yes, we often have certain guides that will help us with the Akashic Records. And the one thing that stands out about the Akashic Records, which we'll be diving deep into, is that it is different than just simply talking to a spirit guide, because we're actually fully aligning with the data stream. As Claire said, Merlin guided her through her records, but she needed to tap directly into that data stream. Rather than just sitting in a lecture, you're actually changing your whole person from soul to physical person. So let's look at my next slide here, why my approach with the Akashic Records stands out. My method that I'm presenting, it's combining ancient wisdom, so our past, like the Akashic Records give us, and a modern approach, so our current day, but also into the future, and the energetic needs of our time, so our future. So it is that past, present, future. That's the way that I have been downloading this information. So with the one of the things that is really important to understand about the records, as well as the way that I'm approaching it, is that we're coming into soul alignment. There are some manifestation techniques or teachings that where we actually focus on our personal will, where we're actually thinking about certain conditions that I want to manifest so that I can feel freed of this reality. And sometimes we have to be careful what we manifest in that kind of approach. Forcing our will, we could be actually moving down a path that isn't in our highest good. I don't actually know what conditions that are going to be the most satisfying and the most fulfilling for me. Thinking that my life should be free of challenges is the best way that I could avoid learning and growth. So aligning with the soul, it is actually the path of light and the path of least resistance. Whether we believe it on this physical plane in our physical mind or not, there is a path of least resistance that may not look anything like we believe we want it to look now. However, it is always the most fulfilling, the greatest opportunity for growth, and simply has the least amount of suffering, if we want to phrase it that way. I may think in my personal mind that the thing that I want is to win $1 billion in the lottery. Well, we've seen examples of people winning billions of dollars with the lottery, and they say that ruined my life. Not to denigrate anyone who's won the lottery. I just mean, that may not be the thing. Even though we're forcing our will from our personal mind for a certain condition, it may not be the right one for us in the highest possibility. So that's what we're doing, is we're aligning with the soul by accessing the Akashic Records. And the other thing about that is that we can release some of the things that we have in our mind that we believe we have to keep to suffer with. I had a client the other day who said, I have this particular, I'm trying to phrase it in a way that both obscures this person's identity, but also gives you some clarity. I have this, let's say, affliction. I have this thing, and it wasn't like a disease, but it was a certain kind of challenge to overcome. And this person said, but I recognize that all humans have that one thing they can't get over. Also, my family has this as a tendency. And I said, wait a minute, how do you know for sure that every human has one thing they can't get over? Secondly, just because your family has some kind of common challenge, does that absolutely necessarily mean you must have that common challenge? And so Sometimes there are times that I've accessed the records that I was able to free myself from stress, worry, and even a physical affliction, having something physically wrong with me, because I tapped into my Akashic records and I was apparently willfully holding on to something that wasn't good for me. So we've got it in all these possibilities of that alignment. And I feel like I want to tell you a story about why the Akashic Records course that I'm teaching and why now. And one of the reasons is because of my darling kitty, Barnabas, who passed away about 4.5 weeks ago. He's the angel of my life, you know. Those of you who love animals, you know. And even people who don't have animals in their family, you'll find that there's a lot of compassion and understanding about how deep and precious that relationship is. Barnabas taught me so much about this life and about the eternal nature of everything. He is, as my husband and I have always said about him, the best person I've ever known, the best person. And so one time that Barnabas taught me about the Akashic Records, I was on a flight. This was years ago, at least 8 years ago, let's say. And I was on an airplane about to take off it was a business trip, my old career. And before, we'd even started, for some reason, I got this flush of panic. I got this panic that came over me, and I'm not really afraid of flying, so I think I probably just picked up someone else's fear of flying. Just rushed over me, and I thought, oh my gosh, is this safe? Did I ask my guides? Is this okay? Should I be taking this plane trip? And all out of the blue, I didn't specifically call for him. I didn't ask for anything except for, I just knew I was having this moment of panic. And I felt my Barnabas, my sweet little kitty. He's a solid black kitty with a little tuft of white right there, like where his priest collar would be. And I felt him astral project to me, as if it was all but his body right there. And he was like right in my face as I'm sitting in my airplane seat. And I feel him so viscerally. And as he rushed to me and was right there, I could feel him with my heart. I could feel his presence as clearly as I can when I'm cuddling him with his physical body. And the sense that I got was, no, you're safe because you're coming home to me, because we have all of these years that we're still going to be living out together. And I felt it. So he brought with him in his astral projection to me our Akashic Records, the story of our future that we were certain that we were going to be creating. He said, you're safe on this airplane. And he brought with me that data stream. And I felt that data stream. It instantly dissolved that panic and that worry that I had, because I had aligned and completely downloaded into my system now the Akashic Records that I could feel that Barnabas and I were to create. And as I said, he passed away just about 5 weeks ago. So we did create at least 10 years together. So that's, or 8 years, I think I decided it was probably about 8 years ago. We did create, we told the story of our Akashic Records for those 8 years. So having gone through that bereavement very recently, I must have activated this necessity to share that with the world and having it come through my work. So that's a little bit of my backstory too. Oh, I want to see another comment we have here from Carla. Much love from Switzerland. You've been present in so many phases of my life. Oh, wonderful. From leaving Venezuela, my home country, through changing to countries 2 times. That's so beautiful, Carla. Thank you so much for your sweet, sweet message. I'm so glad you're here. So, by the way, those of you who are here, I'm going to be taking questions at the end. So just a reminder there. Now, I want to say, so that's why some of the reasons that I have behind my method. Some of the other things that are being infused, especially into the Akashic Record Readers course that is coming up next week, and then it'll be three 3-hour meetings. I'm combining, like I said, ancient wisdom with a modern approach to meet the energetic needs of our times. I'm also partnering with Archangel Metatron. And Metatron is the archangel who is, in some frame, people say that he is one of the lords or one of the overseers of the Akashic Records. Metatron also calls forward people onto their spiritual path, and particularly people who are here to be of service, perhaps people who are to be intuitives, healers, coaches, hypnotherapists. Metatron calls us forward and calls us into awakening experiences. And I've been working with Metatron, channeling, daily. So much has been coming through. This framework, integrating tools. And my approach stands out a little bit differently too, because I'm integrating different tools such as human design. That's going to be a part of it, as well as these other techniques and principles that we're going to be talking about, like activating fractals, ensuring that we can get clarity and precision in how we're actually tapping into the records, opening portals. There are so many different fun little cosmic things that are going into this course. I'm going to be giving us a few clear methods and also doing attunements and providing us with hypnotic journeys and trance journeys to be able to help us to connect, again, in a total sense of that mind, body, spirit, and alignment up through to the soul. So it's really a kind of dynamic, upgraded understanding that we really do need to step into, because we are genuinely, truly, 100% in a new golden era. This new golden era, you might know about the 2027 shift that we are heading into. It's a cosmological shift that you can see in the human design. The certain, on one hand, you might say it's a prophecy, how we interpret it, but there is 100% a significant shift that we are heading into that we have not had a shift like this in over 200 years, about 240 years. But we can see it in our times. We can see that things are shifting and changing. I mean, there's also other evidence such that we are 100% occupying the planet with extra-dimensional, extraterrestrial, non-human intelligence. And that's not me being all foil hat silly, because we've had Congress take conferences with whistleblowers saying the non-human intelligence is here. And apparently over the last week, one of the members of Astral Mastery, which is my program that is the ultimate intuitive expansion program, she said that on Reddit there has been countless reports of UAP sightings, unidentified aerial phenomena occurring. There is stuff happening on this planet, in this planet. And it does, to my understanding, to my vision that I've been downloading, it seems as though, if you've been on my YouTube channel, that we are heading into our version of it, but a new kind of golden era like Atlantis. So accessing and having online our consciousness tools, abilities that we think are magical now, but have in our past been online with for us. And also just think about it. Something might seem impossible now, but just think about our grandmothers, our great or grandparents, or our great-great-grandparents. Those generations didn't go to space. Those generations, several generations back, not too far away in our historic, recent history, they didn't have flying craft. So we have been making leaps and bounds in the last 100 years, but in the last 20 years, in the last 10 years, that timeline is speeding up. So you see why the Akashic Records, as the data stream of our potential timelines and also of our highest possible life to live on this planet, that's why the Akashic Records are so important at this time. So the thing about the Akashic Records, how they stand out from other spiritual modalities. Sometimes those spiritual modalities do tap into or peer into the Akashic Records, but as we really engage with the records viscerally, we activate them in a way that we shift ourselves entirely. All right, let's talk about some of these shifts, and then I'm going to see if we have any questions. You can go ahead and put your questions up right now because I'll be able to see them. So one of the major shifts that we can experience by tapping into the Akashic Records, what they offer is to be able to have clarity on the soul's purpose. This is one of the most common questions that people ask of psychics and intuitives is, what's my purpose? So your purpose is more of a frequency than it is a job description. Sometimes when people are searching for what my purpose is, they're hoping that someone else, which it isn't something someone else can tell us, but they're hoping they could have someone else tell them, well, you should be a professional Reiki practitioner, for example. You should be this, you should be that, and with a job description attached to it. But that is the conditioned mind. First of all, that someone else tells us what we do, because that's how we grow up, right? And second of all, that it has to do with a professional occupation. Your sole purpose hopefully will align with what you're doing in your life day to day, whether that's personally, professionally, and whatnot. But your sole purpose is a frequency. It is a trajectory. It is a quantum alignment. And so tapping into the Akashic Records literally help us to tap into the clarity of our soul purpose and help us to be able to stay aligned with it in all of its challenges and all of its possible downfalls of manifestation, all of the amazing things that can be offered. So having that sense of when you feel stuck, you feel lost, you feel disconnected, or just simply unsure of your path, clarity on your soul purpose by tapping into the records. Because as we tap into the records, we are actually tapping into the blueprint of the soul. That's how we uncover our soul's purpose and align with it. It isn't written in details. It's still a work in progress. And as the person with the feet on the ground, you are a collaborator in it. But your soul has the overarching view of it, is always trying to bring you all of those things that are in your highest good, and always trying to keep away from you the things that are not in your highest good because of how you would align with your blueprint. And that's what the Akashic Records help us with. Now, how do they function? With possible viewing of past timelines to see how we learned lessons that we need to enhance even more in this life, the potentials of how we can choose different parallel timelines right now, and then, of course, those timelines that we would prefer in the full alignment to manifest. We'll gain confidence in the next steps through through those insights that come from your soul's higher wisdom. That is something that, again, when my Barnabas passed, I just felt like I'm doing this thing. I mean, after I moved through the heaviest parts of the grief, I came back to my life and I said, I'm doing the thing. And I had a sit down with my soul and I said, listen, I feel I'm tapping into, I sense I'm downloading those records right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep moving. And you just slow me down if I'm making a mistake, but I'm going to move forward fast, focused, and free. And that's what I'm going to focus on for my day-to-day because I'm trusting that soul alignment. So clarity on your purpose is a major shift you can experience by tapping into the records. The second one is healing energetic patterns. We have often repeating patterns, emotional blocks, or we feel frustrated or exhausted. And all of that usually comes from conditioning, again, from a sort of outside authority, feeling like we're meant to be something that isn't really for us. Well, all of those repeating patterns, blocks, and the sense of feeling frustrated or exhaustion, that is our soul saying, that's not working for you. Come home. Come home to your soul alignment. So that's how tapping into the records will help us because we can identify and clear those unresolved either traumas, karmic imprints, whether they're from the past lives or even from this life. We can heal emotional wounds. We can heal energetic patterns that are holding us back. And we can just align with that highest potential by releasing these things that are just sucking our life force, taking our focus away from the things that we are here to do as we are fully and truly who we are. So finally, the third shift that we can access with the records is manifesting new possibilities. If we're feeling limited by the current circumstances, and we feel like there's no way we could feel different unless the circumstances changed, but we don't know how to change the circumstances, another form of feeling stuck, and unsure how to create any kind of future that we want, that we would prefer. Sometimes we don't even know what that future could be. I just know this ain't it. accessing the records help us to sense and download and just connect with the trajectory of that higher timeline that you will co-create with your soul from an empowered sense and practice and day-to-day living in empowered manifestation. Feeling truly empowered by your capacity to be in each day and manifest from that place of being. And you can work with the tools that I'll be teaching, such as opening portals, activating fractals, and just shift into your energetic alignment. Gain clarity on actionable steps to take toward your dreams actually becoming a reality, and even connecting with what those dreams would be for you. To really be able to, from that state of the alignment, have the steps to move forward. So just to recap, we have the 3 shifts. We have clarity on the soul purpose. We have healing energetic patterns, and we have manifesting new possibilities. And this is how the Akashic Records stand out as a modality that we can tap into to make these powerful shifts, not just the one time, but over and over in our lives, because our growth potential is endless. And then, of course, I would love for you to join me in the Akashic Record course. It actually is pretty affordable considering how much that we are going to be doing. The whole thing is going to be delivered live. And and there's a ton of bonuses too. I'm going to go ahead and share screen of it so I can keep my eye on it. You have the link to be able to join in both the in-studio comments, live chat stream, and then if you're watching the YouTube video, it is also in the description. So we're doing this live starting on Thursday, December 12th. It's going to be 4 to 7 Pacific, then Thursday, December 19th, and then we're going to take an integration break, plus obviously, those are the winter holidays, and that next one will be on January 9th. Now, some people take these courses completely passively and watch things they time travel into the replay. So I just want to let you know that that is absolutely just as beneficial. I have some other offers here that you could bundle this with Psychic Development Level 1 and take that also. And I do have bonuses in there of legacy content of different kinds of psychic training in this already. There are, if you look down here, you can see there are pay later options with Afterpay and Klarna. And then I also offer a 6-week payment plan. So gain clear guidance and practical tools, access your Akashic Records with confidence. And if you are a practitioner, if you will, while this is for people, we are learning both for ourselves, which is foundationally important as a practitioner. I'm giving you specific tools to be able to use more than one way that you can use it to service your clients. So there you go. And also, if you wanted to work toward actually being certified by me as an Akashic Record reader, that is also something you can add to it. So now, I want to take questions from you guys, but before I do, I want to give you the free gifts that I have for you for coming to the to this live today, or I want to tell you about them at least, and then I'm going to email them to you. It's really like 3 free gifts for you. For those of you who are registered for the webinar, just hang tight after we finish. I'll send you the email with the links to be able to claim your free gifts. First of all, we have free access to my development and manifestation community called Sacred Sphere. We have incredibly qualified readers there who are practicing their gifts. I teach, we do meditation, we learn something new, and I am offering for you to come for free in December and January. We're meeting this Sunday. You can come and receive a reading. You can practice with the things that I'm presenting that day. And this is a community for intuition, intuitive ability, and manifestation development. And normally this is $55 a month or $35 a session. So for December and January, I'm welcoming guests to come for free. Now, you will be able to practice the techniques that we are sharing. Even if you're a reader, though, we're not going to have you offer readings to our community until the last one, if you come to all 4. Because after a couple of meetings, we just make sure that we're all on the same page. But you can receive readings every time and receive all of the teaching. So I will be sending you a link to, all you have to do is register so that you'll get the link, and you can come 2 Sundays in December, December 8th and 22nd, and 2 Sundays in January, 12th and 26th. They're from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific on all of those. Now, the other thing I have for you, another free gift that I'll be emailing you, is this very cool PDF that is a technique to activate your Merkaba so that you can access the Akashic Records. So I have this PDF set with steps of how to do it. And in addition to that, on this PDF is a way for you to listen to my Merkaba activating trance hypnotic journey. And so you've got a couple of cool things here. So I will be emailing that to you all who are registered. That's what I have for you. So I invite you to activate your Merkaba. I invite you to also tap into the Akashic Records. And of course, I invite you to take the Akashic Records Readers course. I would love to have you, and love for you to meet the community, the amazing community. So I want to hear your questions. And if anybody who is registered, oh, awesome, Carla. Anybody who's registered for the webinar, if you want to come live in studio and ask a question on video with me, just let me know. Just put it in the chat. Say, I'd love to come live, and I'll invite you to studio and we can chat. Otherwise, I'm going to look here at the chat and see what we have. And I have from Claire says, where do we run into roadblocks when we're asking about trajectories that involve others? Oh, that's a great question. I know lots of times we can't access the records of others without their direct permission. Yes, agreed. Oh, that's such a great question. And here's the thing. We can get a little in our heads about that, right? Because we think, oh, I can't do this thing unless so-and-so cooperates or gets out of my way, you know? Here's the thing. Your soul is so clever and knows exactly how to navigate around what you perceive as the condition of another person that has to change. So I can give you one example. And this example is, it's a small one in the sense that it had to do with one thing that happened one day, but it was evidential. So I was in my old career. In my old career, I had a boss who honestly rarely dealt with me, rarely bothered me. But when this person bothered me, this person really bothered me. Like he would just mess up my whole day, mess up my whole week, mess up my whole month, and ask me to do jobs or tasks that were neither in my skill set nor in my job description. And, just like, that's the kind of boss I had. Anyway, so I had a very busy day planned, and I was driving to, about once a month, I had to go to the office where, the corporate office. So I was driving to the corporate office, and I had a very busy day. And I get a message from my boss, and he says, you need to do this thing, and he puts it on my calendar. Well, I'm driving along, and I'm like, this son of a you-know-who, and this guy, and he's always ruining my thing. Well, I had this clarity come over me, and I was like, wait, is he ruining it for me? Is he the one who is not respecting my boundaries? Is he the one who's not respecting my schedule? Is he the one who is asking me to do something that is not something I feel aligned with? And I thought, well, maybe he is, but am I also doing that? I mean, in a way you can see that I am, because I've allowed him to be my boss. So my logical mind is like, the only way I could get out of this is if I quit, or he moves on out of this position. But guess what? My soul, in its opportunity to be aligned, had a different plan. So when I finally got to the office, because maybe I don't need him to change in order for my reality to change. So what I did was I did a very powerful but brief activation where I first did a ho'oponopono. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, with that person. Then I did that with myself. And then I downloaded from the records whatever is my highest possibility at this time. And I only had like 7 minutes before I was about to meet with someone. So I did that really fast. And when I was coming up out of my prayer and my activation, I heard my phone go bling. And that boss had removed the thing from my calendar. He just removed it. I didn't even know what happened, but he removed it. So my soul saw a really clever path. Now, from then on until I left that job, things ran a lot smoother. I had to continue to come into alignment in the different ways, but I didn't need to quit or have that. And by the way, you know, it's interesting. The boss actually quit before I left that job too, just about a month or two, but it still worked out in a very interesting way. I don't know if that helps, just as a way to, what I might think is the only way around this. My soul has a very clever way to come into that alignment, and exciting too. So let me know if that helps. Emily, hi. Do our Akashic records involve our connections with our animals? 1000%. Emily, did you hear did you hear my story about my Barnabas? I told it at the beginning. And but yes, our Akashic records include all of the individuals that we're having any kind of interaction with. That's actually true, but but our family members, our close friends, and our animals who are our family members. Yes, absolutely. Animals are a part of our soul family as well. So that means that we may be incarnating with them more than one time. It could be that we are also like, maybe we're spirit guides to one another throughout the lives, and but yes, 100%. So, oh, you missed the story. Yeah, no, that's okay, Emily. So the story, go back and watch the beginning. I shared that my Barnabas 8 years ago, when he just passed recently, but when he was still alive 8 years ago, he came to me and brought our Akashic records with him, and it basically attuned me to our future, because I was having a moment of panic about whether I was safe. And he's like, you're safe because look at the record, feel the records that we're going to be creating together. So yes, think of this, if we think about the records, if you will, as the narrative that we're living out in every single moment. Well, right now, Emily, you and I are also in one another's Akashic records. Of course, absolutely we are, because we're creating this narrative. We're bonding with one another. Every way that we bond with someone, we are writing and writing them into our Akashic records, or accessing that potential so that it is a part of our story. Yeah. Let me see. Rocky. Oh, hi, Rocky. I learned about human design chart from you. Oh, awesome. Thanks for doing this. Yes, good. I love it, Rocky. So nice to see you. Did I get this from Carla? I did. Okay. Did I get this one from Claire? Okay, I did. Okay, just catching up here. Let's see. Okay, so Rocky says, please tell me how human design chart, Akashic records, astrology chart, similar, different. Okay. So how human design and Akashic records relate. And we're gonna activate this awareness more deeply in the program, and I have a whole class on one way that you can see your Akashic records through human design is, well, honestly, through the whole chart. But let's just say one way is your incarnation cross. The incarnation cross are it's the top 4. If you look at a human design, actually, I think I can. Do I have something I maybe can screen share to as a visual aid? No, I don't. So, all right, pardon the pause then. So it's your incarnation cross. It is your conscious sun and earth, and then your unconscious sun and earth. When you look at that 2 rows that are descending, those 2 vertical rows that are descending down of the planets and numbers, it's the top 4, 2 on the left and 2 on the right. That's your incarnation cross. And that is basically the code, if you will, of your soul purpose. Now, it's a theme. You make it mean, and you create it in the ways that you will. But your incarnation cross is like the theme. It is like the theme of your Akashic records, the potential, the possibility, the thing that your soul is always bringing you into alignment with. Your incarnation cross theme is always going to take over in your life. And there's different shadow bands of it. I mean, there's different frequency bands of it. It could be shadow, or it could be the gift and the highest potential. But that is how the human design, we're going to look at that as a way that your Akashic records are laid plain for you in your human design chart, if you will. So astrology chart. Okay, so inferring here human design and astrology chart. So human design is a synthesis of 4 ancient observational sciences, and quantum physics. So 4 ancient observational sciences include astrology, specifically tropical astrology, the I Ching, the Kabbalah, tree of life, and the chakra system. Those synthesized with quantum physics. So just as a brief answer, astrology is a part of human design, but there is a lot more that amplifies everything about human design. And I feel like adding to all of this is that what the Akashic Records are is very much like the code. It is all of the, I'm not a computer person. I mean, in the sense I use it, but I'm not a computer coder. But you know how computer programs, computer coders, they're writing code. Or if you think about, like all the numbers falling in the Matrix, that's really what reality is like. And the Akashic Records is all of that potential code. It is quantum code, your quantum potential, and how the code is being calibrated as you tap into those different data streams or the different codes. So that's what I'm going to be digging into with activating fractals and opening portals and all that kind of stuff in the class. Let's see, what else do we have here? Got that one. Thank you for that one, Claire. And Day says, I'm brand spanking new to records. Do I need to be at a certain level to participate? No, not at all. And if you mean especially for my course, no, not at all. But actually, no, not at all, because it is perfectly natural. Our spiritual, what do I want to say? Like our spiritual nature is natural. So you do not. You can come and you can be inspired and you can enjoy. Now, the only thing I will say for people who would join the course is that we will be doing meditations, we will be doing hypnotic modalities, and that can be, for some people, counterindicated if you have a certain mental diagnosis, mental disorder diagnosis, meaning that you have schizoaffective, schizophrenia, or perhaps CPTSD active right now, and an actual diagnosis from your doctor, not something that you think that might be an issue. I'm just going to be plain that you have to have a medical referral in order to participate in that work. And I tell you that so that you understand that I'm safeguarding everyone in this, and that has to do, my understanding of my training. That's how my training is in alignment. Oh, okay. Kate says, will we recognize and be harmonious with, or be surprised by our soul's preferred timelines? I would say yes and no. So the no is because they feel familiar, and we have that imprint, and we hold the imprint on our heart. And what we're doing is we're aligning our heart that we carry around within us, within this. And I think that's why people think, oh, my soul is in my body. No, your body is within your soul. Your soul is much grander and larger than that. But your heart and the imprint and the sense of it, the field of your heart is more than your body. But it is anchored right here in the center of your person. So that is... that's so beautiful about walking around as an incarnated being, is that the imprint of everything that you are is actually here right within you. So it will be familiar, but that's the no. But the yes is that sometimes we have blocks to the things that are beyond our wildest dreams because we don't think we deserve it or that it's possible. So there's a yes in that, really? I get to live beyond my dreams. I get to tap into that, which feels so wonderful to me. So it depends on where we're coming at it, how we're approaching that healing in that alignment. I know you understand that, Kate, for sure. Let's see. What else do we have here? The story that you shared about the cat from your witch wound episode. Did I share it in there too? Probably, right? Yeah, I forgot. I forget what I'm sharing when I'm sharing it. Activating fractals, Tracy. Exactly. You're gonna find out because Tracy's in the course. Owner of a lonely heart, Lauren. I love it. I love that song. My husband and I listen to that song a lot when we're doing like our YouTube videos, little surfing on YouTube videos. So yeah. Okay, I guess that is it. I said it would be 45 minutes. We went 50 minutes. We will wrap this up. So once again, I want to invite you to, if you are watching on the replay, you can still sign up for the webinar of this so that you can get the free gifts that I have, which includes this awesome PDF that is sharing a 10-step technique to activate your Merkaba, to access your Akashic Records, plus the hypnotic journey to activate your Merkaba. Also that there is a, just for December and January of, December of 2024 and January of 2025, you can come to Sacred Sphere for those Sundays, and that is, Sacred Sphere is the community for intuition, intuitive ability, and manifestation development with incredible, highly successful and highly talented and highly skilled readers. People practice with one another so you can receive a reading and also receive the teaching and practice the exercises that I'll be presenting. So that's what I have for you. Akashic Records is the course that is starting on December 12th. It'll be on the 19th as well and on January 9th. And you're perfectly welcome to join only passively. You don't have to be there live and you'll receive the same benefits. Some people do that. And then just one more invitation, and that is, because it is about to expire, my Astral Mastery course. Wow, it's so funny. I just got this deep sense. We were talking about this morning in Astral Mastery about the clairsenses, like whether it's claircognizance or clairvoyance, and we were kind of like sharing our different ways. And so, Tracy, you were talking about claircognizance, and I was like, ooh, I just got a clairsentience hit in a way that was like claircognizance, though, because it came in deeply. Anyway, that there's someone who's listening at some point or watching who's going to be joining Astral Mastery. So Astral Mastery is the ultimate intuitive expansion and astral exploration program. It is many of the things that we're talking about with the Akashic Records. It's that plus. Aligning with the soul, expanding the intuitive abilities, doing astral communication and astral travel. That's it's a 6-month program in the sense of it being how much content there is, but we meet every week, and we meet also this, there's a couple ways you can do it. And there's going to be, it's like the personal development, the professional program that I'm offering next year requires this program. But the cool thing about it is that if you register now as a founding member, you can have access to both the course content and the live meetings of Astral Mastery forever. Well, for as long as it's online, because, at some point, my records are going to say, and scene, or whatever. And anyway, but you'll have access to it forever, and the community, and it's really amazing. And that is expiring on December 13th. But also, if you sign up for Astral Mastery before then, you get a really, really, really deep discount on the Akashic Records course too. So Astral Mastery, that's what I have for you guys. Thank you so much for coming today, coming to the webinar, and for watching it on YouTube. And I look forward to connecting with you and for us to be choosing our records together, writing our story together, bonding with one another, resonating, and tapping into the quantum resonance that we are here to share and expand on our beautiful world. Thanks for tuning in. I love you, whoever you are.